Okay, today I am here to review and yap about Mickey 17. And as a preface for this, I did read the book Mickey 7, but I am no book purist by any means. I was fully prepared for this movie to potentially be better than the book, and that has everything to do with Bong Joon-ho writing and directing, and really nothing to do with my feelings on the book. That being said, this is a weird movie. This is a weird adaptation. First and foremost, Robert Pattinson is freaking fantastic. I mean, both of him are amazing in this movie. And he is doing a lot of really weird vocal work in here. Even his physical performance is pretty impressive, just in terms of like what he's doing with his face and moving it and everything. It definitely works. Mickey Barnes is a weird character. He's definitely comedy laced, down on his luck kind of guy, has no true ambition or drive or skill set. He's just a guy. Just a guy. Apart from Robert Pattinson, the whole cast is great. I mean, everybody. Mark Ruffalo, Toni Collette, Stephen Yeun, Naomi Ackie. They're all really, really good and fit these characters very well. The movie looks great, it's shot well, the production design is really well done, and that ship definitely feels lived in and kind of like a character. So you follow Mickey Barnes, who is an expendable. Basically, he is able to reprint himself after any potential death. He's kind of a guinea pig that they send on these missions to figure out if certain scenarios are dangerous or not. They expose him to toxic gases, I mean, all kinds of stuff. You follow him on this ship in which they're trying to terraform a new planet called Niflheim, which is frozen over, and they all on this ship need to figure out if they can live here or not. And they find out these creatures, which they call creepers, live there. Are they friendly? Are they not? Are they cute as hell? Yes, they are. They're cute as hell. I found the creatures in this movie to be really cool and they worked really well. They're kind of like this cute, fuzzy armadillo pig thing. Honestly, they kind of remind me of the caterpillar from A Bug's Life. They should have just cast him in this because he's one thing I have to say is this movie is very strange in its delivery, in its editing and pacing. I found myself feeling like this was almost a little bit of like a Frankenstein edit of stitched together scenes that I wasn't sure really were fluid and worked together. And the book kind of is like that too. I came away from the book thinking that it was a bit messy, and I don't mean bad, I just mean its plot and how it jumps around, not even timeline wise, but just day to day, is very weird and like scatterbrained. It's kind of hard to like latch onto a little bit, this story. But I found the movie to kind of suffer from that as well. When I got done reading the book, I thought this was a very weird choice for Bong Joon-ho to adapt. There is a really cool story in Mickey 7, but it is pacing wise very strange, and I thought that that did translate to the film, unfortunately. Bong Joon-ho and Edward Ashton, the original writer of Mickey 7, did write this together, and I'm sure they worked this over because there are a lot of different things in the movie than there are in the book. Again, I don't have any allegiance to the book necessarily. I found sometimes it was too slow and sometimes it was too fast. It was kind of confusing and I couldn't really settle into a groove of the story. And you don't really get the true storyline, I feel like, until like halfway through the movie, maybe. It is not poorly directed by any stretch. It's just that the story is tough to latch onto. And then by the time you realize what this is, it kind of didn't have me, or I felt a little disassociated from it in some ways. Another thing that didn't fully work for me is this movie really, really leans into the comedy. And I think that's something that Bong Joon-ho does really subtly and well in his other films. I felt like there were times where comedy was just out of place or not really earned, and it should have been replaced with like more of an emotional moment or even just leaning into the science fiction of it all. The story definitely feels all over the place in terms of what it wanted to focus on, and I have a feeling that this adaptation kind of pulled from a lot of different sections and stitched together this weird amalgamation of what Mickey 7 actually is. And I'm just curious if that actually ends up working for people who didn't read the book, or maybe you did and you just don't care and you just love this world and the characters. I found for me it fell kind of flat, unfortunately, and I can never really sink into a groove of loving or even really liking this movie. So, those are my thoughts. Overall, I did like Mickey 17, though I felt it had some pacing and editing issues. It's still an enjoyable ride, and I would recommend this if you do like Bong Joon-ho's other movies like Okja, Snowpiercer, though it definitely is closer to those than anything like Parasite or something like that. Because I am such a huge Parasite fan, I was curious if this was gonna be any kind of Oscars play or anything like that. And unfortunately, I don't really see anything getting nominated from this movie. I mean, you could have buzz for Robert Pattinson, but I think it's just such a weird movie that I don't see him coming along with any other nominations. I'm feeling a 6.5 or a 6 out of 10 on this one. Let me know your thoughts. Are you planning on seeing Mickey 17? Have you already seen it? And what is your favorite Bong Joon-ho movie? All right, thank you and see you for the next review.